Alright, everybody. Hello there and welcome. I see that Rev is here, or at least his avatar is hanging around. So, hi, assuming that you're there. So first off, I do apologize. I'm not feeling super awesome right now. My throat and my chest is a little bit congested. But at the same time, I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited to keep playing some Chrono Trigger. It feels like it's been forever since I've been able to play it. So right now in this game, I'm actually really close to the end, and I don't think I'll actually be able to finish it today. But I am hoping that I can finish this little section, which is the Black Omen. It's one of the last sections of the game, essentially. So I picked these three people specifically because they have this attack called the Mega Flare, which is the most powerful attack in the game, assuming that the dude is not immune to it. So that's fun. What is happening? I was really close to saying that I need to like have a death count on that one. But incidentally, I hope that everybody had a good weekend, and that all was well and good. I mean, on Friday I did my my Valentine's Day stream thing with the Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, so that was really fun. But I hope that everybody's regular weekend went well. Mine was pretty good. I did my usual various work stuff of different sorts, but I also got to have a little bit of fun. I actually, for the first time, finally booted up and played a little bit of Yakuza 0, which was really fun. I was genuinely surprised by how much fun that was. It's a game style, I should say, that I normally really enjoy. I really liked Shenmue and some other games like that. So it's that same sort of third-person brawler beat-em-up type of thing, and I've enjoyed it. I only played through the first like hour or so, but it was fun. I liked it. Definitely not a great game if you don't enjoy reading, though, or at the very least if you don't speak Japanese, because all of the dialogue and everything is in Japanese. And what else? Yeah, it's a neat game. Also, it's very expositional. At least the beginning portion is. I don't know if that changes, but maybe it does. As far as the exposition is concerned, it's very reminiscent of like PS2 era games, where you had a whole lot of like expositional dialogue, especially at the beginning of a game. So like your massive cinematic scenes and stuff like that. But that said, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Well, this sucks. Guys, I died. Dang it! Nobody saw nothing. There's a button I have to push? What's the button? I did! I pushed the button! I pushed it, I did the death count. I did it. Incidentally, that should only count as like half of a death count. I'm just saying. Because all things considered, I'm pretty awesome. One thing that's been bugging me in this section of the game has been that it's become more and more difficult to just do sort of good gearing effectively. At least it seems like it's more difficult. Zodiac Cape. Sounds like something for Magus. It's not. So it's just for the ladies. I know I died. I admitted it. I admitted the dying. And I did the thing. I said the thing. I said the death count. I did. I did it, the thing. I promise. Really? You fail. You all fail. Except for Magus. Magus, you're awesome. Everybody else fails. Boo! Incidentally, I had a pretty exciting day today of various sorts. I got to have some pretty fun meetings. It's interesting because the place where I work, most of the people are actually remote workers, and this week one of the remote workers is in, so from like farther away type of thing. So essentially, most of the people who are remote are coming in to do whatever stuff. So it's a lot of face-to-face meetings, essentially. It's pretty interesting. I don't particularly mind one way or the other, but at least I took down one. What is this Slack file? Is Rev making fun of me? Well, it says I have to sign in to see the Slack post. Why are you posting stuff from Slack anyway? It don't make no sense. Ah, not this guy again. No, don't steal my MP! Ha! You guys see my awesome escape skills? Unfortunately, I can't look at Discord at the moment. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Somebody put my phone on the floor. Probably some inconsiderate jerk. Speed capsule. Incidentally, if anybody is unfamiliar with this game, this is Chrono Trigger. It is a game that was released in the mid-90s on the SNES. And it is one of relatively few, in my opinion, games of the era that has really held up very, very well. I mean, I say my opinion. I know that it's a very well-held opinion about this game. And most of Squaresoft's games, honestly. So Squaresoft was, well, yeah, I would say was. One of the big leaders in all of that stuff, of JRPGs primarily. is what they worked on. They've been less active recently, but one thing that they did is they made my absolute favorite game of all time, which is Super Mario RPG on the SNES. So that's pretty awesome, if I say so myself. I don't like the looks of these guys. So what's this? Minis! Oh, cool! So this is the thing that you were talking about, Rev. That looks really cool. Are they taking my magic? They did. They took my MP. That's pretty neat. So are the numbers next to it like they're sort of like the point buy, I guess, for lack of a better term? So I'm familiar with things that are similar to this because in what's it called? Oh my god. In X-Wing Miniatures game, you have something similar where each ship is worth a particular amount of points, and each player is allowed X amount of points for the whatever the combat is that they're doing. So it seems very, very similar to that. That's really cool. And I guess the best part is that you could still do at least some level of combinations, because you can get, you know, certain things from one place versus another and all that kind of thing. Or do you have to do like the same, what's it called, like faction, I guess? I don't know what the correct term is. But either way, it's a cool thing regardless. I think it's awesome. And I'm super jealous because Rev gets to do all this neat stuff. And I don't. It's one of these things, I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again, where it's a difficult thing for me to wrap my head around. All of the, all of the different things related to wargaming, like miniature wargaming, and then Magic the Gathering and all that kind of stuff. Because for the most part, it's a very expensive endeavor to enter into. It's not always like that, but it sometimes is. So yeah, like I said, I know I mentioned it before, but yeah, it's one of these things where I wouldn't mind being able to do it more and being able to play these additional games and sort of like expand my horizons, I guess, for lack of a better term. But as of right now, at least, I can't do it. I don't know if it's just me, but this guy kind of seems like a pushover. I win. I'm gonna go save again. That's neat though. And I hope that everybody's feeling well. I only mention that because I've been having a rough time since like yesterday. Thankfully, some of my work canceled for today. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because it means I don't get the work, but at the same time, because I'm not feeling well, it's kind of nice. Can't escape. So that demonstrated something that's really interesting about this game, and not something that you see too often. When he did the beam attack on Luca, it ended up hitting Robo as well, because the two of them are in the same line. Because the two of them are in a straight line relative to the bad guy, it means that they both got hit. There's a bunch of different attacks that do something similar to that, both good and bad. But it's just kind of a neat feature of this game that I honestly am kind of sad you don't see more frequently in RPGs, because it's always nice to see something related to positional aspects in a game like this, as opposed to something like a tactical RPG where you have stuff like Fire Emblem and things like that. Or, oh my god, what is it? Vanguard Bandits. That was one of my favorite games when I was younger. The game is so cool. I really enjoy it. I should probably just use my big thing on this. The curry is fantastic. Well, I'm glad to hear, Rev. I was sorely worried. So it's good to know. Thank you for sharing that factoid. No! Incidentally, I had curry earlier. I mean, not today, but recently. It's probably because I'm so cool. Oh, look, it's Mathuin. Hi, Mathuin. I'm not sure if you saw this stuff earlier. Oh, bugger. Well, that's bad. But yeah, so I was just saying that I had a pretty good weekend. Hope that everybody else did, of course, as always. But as for me, I'm kind of like meh. I'm not feeling too good, in case it's not obvious with my slight stuffiness. I'm a little bit congested and whatnot. But I hope that you all are feeling well. You didn't watch? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's cool that you watched any at all. I am really looking forward to doing some of the D&D stuff in the future for sure. So I'm hoping that you guys will be able to join. I know, Maith, when you mentioned that you'd want to just like observe for the first time or few times, that's totally fine with me. Because like I know it can be super intimidating. But I'm hoping that you'll be able to join at some point. I am still very excited to do that stuff. All of the D&D or whatever other various TTRPGs people are willing to try and play online. I think it'll be really fun. I mean, I don't think you're wrong about D&D being a spectator sport, because, I mean, look at things like Critical Role and stuff like that and how popular they've gotten. I mean, it does really seem like people, at least to an extent, enjoy watching D&D. So, I'm totally down with it. I personally have not really engaged in much as far as that stuff is concerned. Oh, shoot. I'm pretty sure you can steal cool stuff from these guys, but I don't know. There's only one character in this game that's able to steal things, and if memory serves, these guys have it's like some good armor, I think, or something. I don't remember. My only hope is that with every creature and bad guy I fight, that they are not immune to fire, because, yeah. There, see? Rev's watched much more D&D than he's played. And again, that's kind of the shtick. It's not uncommon. So this looks like the same guy as before, but I have a feeling that it's, yeah, much tougher. Watch tons more Warhammer than you played. That, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. So right now, I mean, I'm just trying to get rid of the top if I can. There we go. So now I can just, there we go. So I guess the bottom just dies when the top does. I was kind of thinking that it was something along those lines. Alright, so the white gemstone, I assume, is something similar to another item that I have. Poyozo Dance. Alright, so the attack I've been using, that Omega Flare thing, it requires that I have a special item like that equipped on one of the characters. And so the white gemstone does the same thing for a different one. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching, I mean, of course, especially Matt Mercer. I mean, everybody loves watching Matt Mercer. He's an incredible DM, and he is absolutely amazing at what he does. And, you know, we could all aspire to be half of what he is when it comes to being a DM. But, yeah. So one thing that I remember about these guys is that if you attack the back of them, then they do this attack as a counter. So you need to just focus on the face. Thankfully, when we counter, it counters the actual body, or the head. It doesn't counter the body. So you just gotta focus fire, essentially. Focus fire, don't split the party, all of that good stuff. You guys know how it works. Incidentally, Matthew Mercer has a really cool like GM guide thing that he did a while ago that just talks about essentially like good habits for GMing any game. You know, like dealing with unexpected things, dealing with having to improv, doing world building, all of that kind of stuff. It's really cool. It's a really neat, neat show. This is a little bit dangerous. Okay, good. I was hoping that would happen. I was hoping I was close. I mean, and that's the weird thing, right? Because as a sort of gaming society, the way that we ingest material and look at things has drastically changed from what it once was. So the advent of streaming and all of this kind of thing has really altered what we do as gamers, and I mean, at least for me, what I do as a player, of course, because I do my streams, even though it's, you know, not huge, it's still something. But absolutely, when you have to game, I mean, it's necessary. That's, I mean, one of the reasons I'm super excited about getting back into gaming is that it has been so long since I've really been able to consistently go to any sort of gaming event. And so I'm really, really looking forward to doing so again. And that's why I'm really hopeful that anybody would be willing to join in. Not to mention I'm doing some of the local ones as well, like local board gaming things. I don't trust those things, so I'm not going to touch them. Those are all my characters of various sorts. Ooh. Huh. I'm not a fan of this. The impenetrable mask that is tabletop wargaming is more usable. I mean, I can definitely see that because I remember, and I mean, to this day, I find wargaming, like classic tabletop wargaming stuff, to be so intimidating. Like, I literally just feel like I could never, ever do it. It's just, oh man. And again, same thing with, what's called Magic. It's just, or any collectible card game. I don't know. I mean, maybe now that I'm older, I could do better with it. But other than that, I don't know. No, the Mammon Machine! So, quick bit of backstory. For anybody unfamiliar with this game, essentially it takes place across multiple different times. And fundamentally what's going on is we are having to stop Lavos from destroying the world, or that's the goal, is we are trying to get him to not, blow up the planet. We learn during the game that he actually arrived on a meteor back in 65 million BC and has just sort of been hanging out underground ever since. So now we're all here basically trying to be like, okay, F you, bro. Like, why you gotta be like this? That's not cool. So essentially that's where we're at. And now I'm towards the end of the game, fighting off all the bad guys, where effectively what's happened more recently in game time is that during the Age of Magic, the Age of Antiquity, as it was referred to, they actually tried to leverage Lavos and essentially steal part of his abilities, so that they would be able to perform magical attacks and abilities and capabilities. The thing is that they ended up basically making Lavos all mad, and they went too far with it, and so this machine is what was used to actually draw the energy from Lavos. So now we're basically fighting through time at various different points in order to stop Lavos at his various stages, type of shtick. And throughout the end game here, you also end up doing a lot of You do a lot of little, not attacks. Oh my god, what am I thinking of? You do a lot of side quests that are associated with individual characters, and you're like traveling through time and doing all sorts of different stuff. It's really neat. It's a very cool game, and absolutely huge too. It's still very popular. People still speedrun it and all that kind of thing. As everybody knows, I am one of the preeminent slow runners. So any game that I play takes approximately 6 times as long as pretty much anybody else to play through. So, yeah. I will say, though, that I did do all of the various, all of the various side quests for this game. Oh, jeez. Oh, shoot. So this queen was the one who was in charge during the Age of Antiquity, when magic was aplenty. Okay. So I'm thinking I can do the same thing. I'm basically just hopeful that I don't run into the same issue of somebody who's immune to my attack. Also, that attack was not pleasant. Double shoot. Oh, right, he has no MP. Whoa! Why did it do so much damage? Seriously, why did that do so much damage that one time? It did like 2 grand. Like Luca's regular pew. I mean, granted, it was a crit, but still, that's a huge crit. Ah, shoot. And now I'm not sure if there is a way or if it's worth it for me to defeat the hands. It doesn't seem like there's much with them, and like I can't do a whole lot of damage. Plus they counter with the MP Buster, which is not ideal. There, see, I did another crit, but it only did like 300 damage. Alright, well that's good timing at least. I just want to see how this works. I have a feeling that there's going to be a massive counter and it's going to hurt a lot. Shoot. Okay. Aw, man. Okay, that's good. So I can do physical techs. That's nice. Part of the problem right now is I don't know how close I am to like the end of the game. As with many RPGs and games of the sort, I get into the whole idea of, you know, I'll save it for when I need it. You know, I'll save it for the big boss. And I'm thinking like, is this the big boss? Because I'm not fighting Lavos, technically. Oh, is that it? Boosh! Wait. Boom. I win. Ha! Oh, bugger. She's getting power lent by Lavos, you guys. Uh-oh. Right? That's the thing. Is this the final form? I have no idea. Oh. Like, I legitimately have no idea. Oh, come on. Can't I at least heal? Please? Stupid Lavos! Go away! I remember that thing. Please work, please work, please work. Oh, balls. So we're basically running through all the bosses, I guess? So the problem right now is I don't have a lot of ethers left. Oh god, I remember this guy. This guy sucks. I just noticed Robo is at 999 health. Oh god, not this thing. I hated that thing so much. It drove me insane. Bugger. Oh, this dude. I like vaguely remember all these. It's kind of cool. This is like, you know, like greatest hits of the game type of shtick. It's kind of fun. And part of the thing, so I haven't mentioned it today, but I will say it now, that I have never actually played this game. This is the first time I've ever played. So I'm very unsure of what exactly is about to happen. Have I played Chrono Cross? I have not. I know that there's a direct link between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, though. I do know that, but I have not played Cross. No. And if memory serves, I believe that that Cross is the sequel to Trigger, if memory serves. And also, I know that Chrono Cross was not nearly as well received as Chrono Trigger. True fans alike would argue about it. Well, I mean, that if you don't have a bunch of people arguing over whether or not something is actually the way it was intended, then, I mean, what are you even doing? I wonder if Omega Flare is going to work on Magus. Or, you know, Magus Proxy. Okay, well that's no. If the internet doesn't fight about it, doesn't even exist. Exactly, that is the question. Now, the problem is, I don't remember how to fight against Magus. Now, does this mean he's vulnerable to ice? Let's see. It does. Awesome, now he's vulnerable to fire. Which means that I can do this. It is good to know. It is good to have the recommendation, so thank you very much. There was a third planned as well? That's pretty cool. He still has the fire barrier, right? Woo! Who's next? Oh, this dude. Crap. How am I doing on stuff? Okay, we need to... Like I said, part of the problem that I'm having right now is I'm running low on items that'll help me. Oh, it was talked about? Okay. But they never actually did it. That's unfortunate. It's cool, though. I mean, like I said, I never played the second one, so I couldn't say for sure what's good, bad, or in between in that regard. Try this again. This is probably a dumb decision on my part. I remember I had to get rid of the little dude first. I'm going to try to take him out with just regular attacks and maybe a rapid fire. See if that works. It's one of these interesting things where there's not a whole lot of like true sagas in board gaming. I mean, in board gaming it's somewhat true as well. But in video gaming, I mean, we think about relatively recently, we have like BioShock and oh gee, what else? What are other like really good sequential games? I mean, Telltale Games was always relatively famous for doing the big what's it called, storytelling games. That was really close. I got lucky on that one. Oh, this bro with his hands. I remember this. I'll still be able to run it. I only have turbo ethers left. I don't like that. So, game sagas. Big game sagas. Bioshock. I mean, I guess you could sort of argue Left 4 Dead, but that wasn't really super impressive as far as sequels are concerned. Let's see here. So Secrets of Mana, I have. I actually have my my SNES, my mini SNES over here. I played Secrets of Mana a little bit on stream, and it was a lot of fun. It took me a while to get used to it again, but I believe, if memory serves, that is another what's it called? That is another one of the Square games, I think. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Wild Arms I have not played though. Yeah, I'm really unfamiliar with them entirely. I've played a ton of different stuff. But I mean, it seems like RPGs are more the ones that get sequels of different sorts. I guess The Witcher is probably another good, more recent example of seeing that. Well, Lavos is not happy. This series is intense. Like, the series of fights. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. So here's hoping that this will be enough to take him down. Maybe that. Oh, yeah! Boosh! And more? You guys are still not done. Hey, there's a save point! So, this is interesting because I've got to get going. And, like, I need to go eat and, you know, work and do stuff. And the problem is I don't know how much more is left. Clearly I am very close to the end of this game, though. So I'm thinking I will probably end it here. Yeah, Mithwin, I think that's probably going to be best at this point. Right now I'm just looking to see if I can head back to where I was, because I saved it before I left the core. So I'm curious where this ends up. Because I don't want to fight him again. Okay. So, that's still there. Yeah, this is gonna have to be where I end it, unfortunately. Um, but what I will do, actually, I won't necessarily do it on stream. I'll stop the stream now, but I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna resupply. I'm just gonna buy some random stuff. Well, I guess I may as well do it on stream because I'm gonna do it anyway. But yeah, I'm definitely down for finishing up this game and then potentially popping on the mini SNES because I've got my all-time favorite Mario RPG on there and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So yeah, there's some greatness that I could do. So I'm trying to remember. There's a specific shop that starts off really bad, but then it becomes really good, based off of a couple of side quests that you do. And I finished all the side quests, so I should be able to get the good stuff. But I just want to resupply on like the ethers and everything. I don't think this is it. It might be in the present. So the different characters that you get are from different eras of time. So we have the present era, which is where Chrono and a handful of the other folks are from, but the main one being Chrono, since he is the lead character, I guess you would say. Where else would it be? Oh, is that it up there, maybe? We have a character who is from 65 million BC, which is the ancient era. We have a character from the Age of Antiquity as well. Yeah, there's just all sorts of people. There we go. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the one. Shoot, they don't sell the good stuff, though. I could use more of the high potions, though. They don't sell the bigger ethers, though, which kind of sucks. Oh, that's why he's got the ruby vest on. So yeah, the ruby vest is solid. Ruby vest is very helpful because fire is really, really common in this game as something that you have to fight against. Anybody happens to know where I can buy bigger ethers, I would be eternally grateful. I'm just going to check here in the Middle Ages again. But after this, I'm going to get going because it is my time. And like I said, I'm not feeling that great. So I definitely need to head out. Well, he's got mid-ethers. That's something at least. Alright. I'll take it. Lapis is good too. Alright. I'm gonna head out. Okay, But this is good. We're in a good spot. I'm excited. I think this is going to be awesome. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, next week I will be back with this. For Saturday, I actually don't know what I'll be playing. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. You can Facebook, tweet. Oh man, I forgot to put out the Facebook and the tweet for this one. Shoot, I'm sorry. I fail. I was focused on starting. But either way, on Saturday, yeah, just let me know if you have anything in particular you guys would like to see. But take care regardless. Have a great week. Hope that you guys have fun. And I will hopefully see you all on Saturday. So, bye-bye.